Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me today for another episode of Gold Wingnut Live. Each week I answer your questions about things happening in Sumter County and the villages. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos I produce are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happenings here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo video package for your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work's being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some others do. I'm watching your home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange your package today. Now let's get started with the show.
Is Gen X aging differently, or are we just built differently? Because we've survived some crazy shit and really should not be aging the way that we are. We were forged in chaos. We survived lawn darts, secondhand smoke, cars without seat belts, no helmets, no knee pads, no warning labels, no safe spaces. By 6, we were walking ourselves to school unsupervised because what the hell's supervision? The only time an adult came to look for you was when they wanted to whoop your ass for making them look for you. And by 10, half of us had jobs and the other half had a lighter and an alibi. And by 12, most of us had survived enough near-death experiences that we could have our own Netflix special. Like millennials got helicopter parents. We got parents that locked us out of the house and told us to go play in traffic. Summers we spent sunburned, dehydrated, and left outside like feral cats. We didn't have SPF. All we had was Noxzema and regret. Hydration came from a hose, nutrition from a fried bologna sandwich, and emotional support came in the form of stop that crying or I will give you something to cry about. And somehow we thrived. Maybe it's that we were so emotionally stunted at a young age that it slowed the aging process. I never thought of that. Because in our heads, we're still 25 despite our bad knees and our bad backs and all that. Why did I walk into this fucking room? We believe we're so young because Toys R Us told us we didn't have to grow up, and apparently we took that way too seriously. And it's a miracle that we're still here. The truth is that we have resilience in bulk. And we are taking better care of ourselves. We do try to drink water now, and we use SPF, and some of us are in therapy. But the real secret to Gen X youth is not in kale or collagen. It's that we do life with a solid, unapologetic, I don't give a fuck attitude. We don't sweat the stupid shit, and we live life on our own terms. That's not aging differently. That's surviving the impossible and laughing in its face. That's the kind of shit that you can't put into a bottle.
Personally, I've never had a bad thing happen to me. I haven't had a bad day in my life, not since I came to the Promised Land. And let me tell you something, everybody points to Israel, and yes, I'm proud I'm being there, but the Promised Land is America. In America, Protestants and Catholics live next door to each other. In Ireland, not so good. In the Middle East, Israelis and Arabs don't get along with each other. Over here, everything's fine. The gift that America has given the world is a sort of a, I can't put it into words. There's a magic here that exists nowhere else in the world. I'm embarrassingly patriotic about this country. I would, see, it's starting to happen. Before we came to America, my mother and I stood in front of the American consulate. My mother was very beautiful, so he put her at the beginning of the line. I saw him, you know, and so we went to the front of the line, and I was a little boy. I didn't know what was going on. And he's trying to tell her that she's been accepted to come to America. But my mother couldn't speak English, so he says, do you speak, you know, she couldn't speak English. And they're trying to connect. So they settled on, kannst du sprechen Deutsch? Ja. Ich kann sprechen Deutsch, ich habe gelernt auf der Schule. I speak some German. You had to, especially in the camps. So in broken German, he says to her, welcome, you have been accepted to the United States of America. I didn't know what America was, I'd never heard of it or anything. And he says, okay, before you come in, you have to raise your hand and swear allegiance to America. And my mother didn't know what to do, so she went like this. And sorry. So I saw that night, I didn't know what was going on, and my mother was rigid like that. She just wanted to come to America. I saw him coming. He got off his riser, and he came up to her, and he put her hand down, and he said, "You're never going to have to do that ever again." And I didn't understand what that was. But the magic and the blessing that is America is that, yes, even if you're the sons and daughters of Nazis, you can come here and nobody will try to kill you, and you can have all the rights and freedoms that native-born children in America have. This is the promised land.
I had asked you what is the worst thing that happened to you in your life. So what's the best thing that's happened to you in your life?
Well, the best thing that ever happened to me was coming to America. I mean that honestly, unapologetically. Once I landed in America with my mother, it was like through the rabbit hole, Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. I never saw anything so big. The people were big, the cars were big, the sandwiches were enormous. People had refrigerators full of their own food. You didn't have to go to a store to pour a can of soda. I remember as an 8.5, 9-year-old boy going to the first supermarket across from my Aunt Magda's house, and I walk in, and it's like city streets with people going down one street and up the other and stuff, carrying tons of food, and the food was stacked up higher than the people were taught. I just couldn't fathom it. It was just, America, the land of plenty. You're goddamn right. I'd never seen, and to this day, I just can't believe how much it's Wonderland.
Okay, let's try this. I want each one of you to say something nice about the other one. Fine. Go on. Like how... You can do it. They're so persistent. Okay, why don't we just come back to you? I like how you turn into Michael Jackson whenever you touch the seatbelt in your truck. No, that's not what I had in mind. See, this is what I'm talking about. Jamal! Summer, have you ever considered that your behavior might be upsetting the South? Yeah, well, I can't really see the tears for all the sweat. Do you know that he's tried to kill me? On multiple occasions. Okay. Let's not escalate the situation with inflammatory statements. Oh, no, that part is actually true. I think perhaps you two might be spending too much time together. Oh, you think? Oh, no, I spend way more time with Chad and Egypt and Tunisia. But do you bring your friend there? Oh, is there another person in this relationship? Oh, no, he's just a friend. Oh, come on. They're inseparable. And what is their name? Humidity. Big T! He's suffocating. He is a hugger. Oh, what about mosquitoes? Okay, more friends. They're vampires. No, more like hemoglobin aficionados. And gnats? Oh, and they spell that with a G. It's silent. Okay, well, it sounds like these friends might be keeping you from being your best self when you're around the South. Oh, and you should also know that he rarely takes old Big T up there to Wisconsin and Minnesota, and they can't stop talking about how much they just love summer. Oh, no, that's just because winter treats them like trash. Every July, that's all they say is, oh, why don't we just pop open some Leinenkugels and get on the lake? Now, don't you know? What was that? That was my impression of those people up there. It's kind of offensive. So it sounds like you have quite a large support group. Do you have anybody besides Summer that you can lean on? Shade? Oh, that's a shifty character right there. He does have a hard time staying still. Anybody else? Oh, Breeze? Oh, now she sounds lovely. I don't see her much anymore. But sometimes Summer plays this trick on me where he says, hey, come outside, Breeze is here. And it's a hurricane. Gets him every time. Okay, so I'm not supposed to say stuff like this, but this is one of the worst relationships that I've ever seen. I knew we had something special. You need to split up immediately. I don't even know how you two have lasted so long together. Wait, what? Are y'all holding hands? Yeah, I just remembered how he makes the best watermelons. Yeah, I don't think watermelons justify the type of behavior that you're putting up with. I make some pretty mean tomatoes too. And in July, he lets me blow stuff up. Sorry, blow stuff up? What did you say? 4th of July fireworks stands. I mean, I put them everywhere. And we keep them open for weeks. Okay, literally seconds ago, you hated summer. Yeah, but there's just something about the way he lights up a night sky with lightning bugs. Okay, I feel like you're about to sing a country song. Please don't. Or how a little country back road just explodes with the brightest greens after a summer shower. Okay, so it turned into a Sam Hunt country song where you just talk the whole time. The truth is, I hate summer, but I'm not the same without him. Well, that is an extremely toxic outlook. Want to go see if I can give you 3rd-degree burns when you touch the mailbox? I thought you'd never ask.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. And it's Don, and this is Gold Wingnut Live. I'm your host, Don Wiley. We're going to talk about the things you want to talk about. I'll answer your questions as best I can about the villages, about Sumter County, about drone flying. Yeah, I got a pretty wide depth of knowledge, so we'll give it a shot. So we've had a few questions that have come up, but first, let me remind you, please support my sponsors. They're all a bunch of really good businesses. I personally screen them. Today's show sponsor is Kitchen Wise, Closet Wise. Scott and April do a phenomenal job on your kitchen cabinets, your bedroom closets, you name it. Great folks. Other sponsors today are Magic Stairs. Great product. The heck with climbing up on those rickety ladders. It's never again. Absolutely never again. Well, I say that. We'll get to that later. Shade Masters. Obviously, if you have a need for any kind of shades, whether it's blinds, plantation shutters, uh, shades for your garage, your lanai, give them a call. Great stuff. Surf to Turf Home Inspections. On Surf to Turf, folks, he uh, Tom Stevens is the owner. He does great inspections, but man, things are so busy for all the home inspectors, really. Call ahead, make your reservations for your home inspection uh, uh, way in advance. If you've completed your design week, next thing you should do is be calling Surf to Turf to schedule your home inspection. And new sponsor this week is Gone But Guarded Home Watch. It's a new company. It's a resident-owned company here in the Villages. Jim Dennis is a friend of mine. He runs the company, and he's doing home inspections. And Jim is a retired police officer, and I think he's got a pretty good thing going on here. All right, so let's see. We had some stuff here. The piece on Gene Simmons was fantastic. Yeah, uh, I've been a Kiss fan since I was a teenager. In fact, the first concert I ever went to see in San Antonio was a Kiss concert. Absolutely phenomenal. Um, and I'll be honest with you, when a Kiss song comes on the radio in the truck, I crank it. I can't help it. Whether it's Bess or Doctor Love or anyway, uh, I digress. Um, but yeah, I did not know that. He was from a Holocaust family, and that was pretty interesting. There's many more parts to that interview. Just you can search for them on YouTube. Great stuff. Anyway, let's see what else. Sodfather says the lawn's mowed and now watching live. Yeah, I have my robo mower out cutting the grass. It's actually doing it for the second time. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't cutting the grass. The blades were dull, so I replaced the blades this morning, and did a great job. But it left stripes, so it's those robo mowers they're designed to be used, every 2, 3 days. They go out and cut the grass. They just cut a little bit off. Makes for a very fine mulch, but it definitely needs to be done on a frequent basis. And I hadn't been because well, it had been running, but it hadn't been cutting because the blades were dull. Let's see. Let's see. Bike Man Bob, can you give me your thoughts on mini split AC units for the garage? If you're going to be working in your garage, these mini splits are a great idea. If you don't know what it is, it's another air conditioning unit. Many people use them for their lanai. Some people use them for their garage. I've seen several houses that have two mini splits because they're having them for the garage and for the lanai, and they run them at separate times. Um, if you're going to do your garage, though, make sure they insulate the attic, okay? Because the space over your garage in the attic is not insulated. If it's over the occupied portion of the house, it is. So get that insulated. Also, get the insulation on the door. It will help tremendously. But if you work in the garage a lot and it's going to be your hobby area, maybe it's your home workshop, woodworking, auto repair, whatever. Definitely not a bad idea. Um, let's see. Village's Sodfather said, signed VLS contract this morning and house going live midweek. Wish us luck. Oh, good. Bob, I hope you have good luck. You know, the thing about the villages, uh, the VLS system, um, they when you look at the amount of customers they get, MLS, if you're going to buy a resale home, I highly recommend you get a VLS and an MLS lender. MLS lender, or excuse me, not lender, realtor. The MLS realtors are the ones we traditionally think of. VLS only sells villages property. But for resales, VLS has about 70% of the resales. They also have 100% of the new sales. So maybe somebody's not seeing what they want in a new, they'll look resale. If you have both that you're working with, you get to see the full market that's available for resale homes. And there's quite a number of resale homes on the market right now. Uh, let's see. Looking forward to today's show. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Hello, Don. Victoria, hello. Let's see. May I ask any news on Eastport Supermarket? I have heard nothing, absolutely nothing. Um, all right. Yeah. As soon as hear something, folks, I'm going to let you all know. You'll see it. When I see it, I'll put out a 5 minute short just to cover it. Uh, that's just because it's one of those things that really is good information. Let's see. BV Bum wants to know if there were to be a Cat 2 hurricane, would you feel safe in your home? Right now, no, because the liquor cabinet is empty. Uh, I'm joking. Uh, no, I would feel safe. You know, the homes here in the villages are built to the latest Florida standard. The precast or walls that they use now are very strong. It's a great product, very solid. But all the homes, they have to be built to the minimum Florida standards, which compared to when Hurricane Andrew went through in the 90s, um, that was a pretty devastating storm. I was stationed in Kings Bay, Georgia at the time, and I actually I was the duty officer the night that the hurricane hit Andrew, and then it turned north, and uh, where we were at, we had this building I was in. It had this, gosh, trying to think. The windows were 43 feet high, and it was about 150 feet wide. I know it was 43 feet high because it was the height of the hull of an Ohio class submarine, and that was part of the design. the building was 560 feet long, which was the same length as the 500 as the Ohio class submarine, because it was a training facility for the Tridents or the Ohio class. But yeah, I would feel safe, no problem at all. Um, let's see. Um, so Dave wants to know what percent of leased space has been rented in Eastport. Seems that leasing is going quite slowly. So you have to understand, um, the developer is really, really particular about who they lease to. So when you have, let's say, first off, there's you no vendor that I have ever seen in any of the downtown areas have direct competition. So you're not going to have two Mexican restaurants there. You're going to have multiple restaurants, but they cater to a different market. Same thing with merchandise. There's not going to be, I don't know, two photography studios, let's say, just as a presumption, because they want to protect their merchants. They want them to succeed. And if they're competing directly with somebody else in that same area, it's not good for them. The other thing is they want them to be successful. They want to make sure that you have a good business plan and are going to be successful. Because if you go in and then, uh, a year later, you're out of business, that doesn't look good for the retail environment. Okay. They also don't want generally to rent 100% of all available space. If 100% of all available space is leased, then there's no room for growth. And that's not a good feeling for the merchants. If they know it, this is all the business I'll ever get, you know, then that's not exactly good for them. If they know though that there might be 3 units, um, and who knows, some business opens up and it brings in hundreds of new customers. Well, they not only go to that store, but they're going to go and get dinner or look in the other stores while they're there. So um, they are always very selective on their release of information. They have been actually quite forthcoming. There's quite a few places coming, all right, but it also takes a lot of time to build out commercial property space. Middleton is no different. They've announced a lot of places. Many of them are just now getting going. All right. Let's see. Great to see new AEDs in Moultrie Creek. Okay, I had not seen them out. I know that there is an AED box in front of my Moultrie Creek house, actually just across the street, and it had been empty, but I hadn't really looked. Hmm. My new coffee cup, MTEX Oil. Everybody knows who that is, right? Um, anyway, let's see. Um, Village Sodfather wants to know, do they have smaller scale music on Sunset Island or only the main entertainment stage? That's an interesting question. I was at the dog park this morning and I was talking to my friend Dave, and he works on Sunday afternoons. So Dave, if you're watching, get back to work. No, but yeah, he said they were doing some sort of setup on the island today. So there might be during the afternoon some small musical stuff, but generally it's still going to be limited to the main stage as far as I know. All right. um, let's see. Rome Wolverine. That's a new one. I've not seen you on board. Welcome to the show. Hi, Don. We are building an Oak Hollow, and we were surprised we could not add roof gutters during the build. What are your thoughts on gutters? Ah, man, I've been in the gutter so many times. No, sorry. I'm sorry. It was one of those days. Oh, yeah. You guys can see my new shirt. My wife got me this for my birthday. It says red, white, and woof. And then it says Sully here and Lily here. Yeah, let me see if I can stand up. Yep. Two pictures. Yeah. The doggone cameras keep keep moving on me. But pictures of golden retrievers. Not that I would ever have any golden retrievers around me. Anyway, definitely get the roof gutters. I highly recommend it. Um, the you you want to keep the water away from the foundation of your house as much as possible. It should not be a problem. The houses are graded about 18 inches from the top of the foundation down to road level, so the water is designed to flow away. Uh, but it, you want the roof gutters. There's a lot of good um, gutter installers. I used Hill seamless gutter when I did the house in Moultrie Creek. Hill, Hill seamless gutters. Another good one is Sipes. There are several companies. You definitely want the seamless ones. What that is they have a roll of metal. They send it through a form and they cut it to the exact length of your house. That stops leaks. It stops any kind of uh, flexing that breaks it apart. So definitely seamless is definitely the way to go. Um, let's see. Went to the new Walmart on 44. Some of the greenhouses are being torn down. Are they building something new there? So I knew that the greenhouses were coming down. I had heard this month. So not surprised when I saw it. Debbie and I went by there last night, and I pointed out to her. They have. It looks like they've just started, but yeah, that's gone. I do know that entire area where the greenhouses are and beyond, I believe, is zoned commercial. So we may be seeing some additional commercial development down there. Interestingly, that was on my show list for today, was to talk about that. How about the traffic from Walmart? Oh yeah, that's right. We're not seeing any increase in traffic from Walmart at the intersection of 44 and Morse. Why is that? Because the traffic is got four entrances into that the Walmart area. There's three on what is that? 44, and there's another one on sorry, Morse Boulevard. Um, so kind of a nothing burger, just like the traffic up there at Costco this past summer. Um, but I don't know I haven't heard any plans. I haven't seen anything about new builds coming to where the greenhouses are. Uh, you, Sam, you were in Fort Lauderdale for Andrew. You have my sympathy, my friend. That was a hell of a storm. Craig says, "Happy birthday, Don." Mario released a video showing a possible golf cart route under the turnpike at 48. Thoughts? Yes, it's a possibility. Uh, you know, one of the things though is that the, those bridges are going to be rebuilt um, because that section is they've started work on the section up to the county up to 470. Um, what you call it? Of the turnpike to widen it to 4 lanes in each direction, so the bridges have to be rebuilt. Whether they lengthen them, I don't know. It is a possibility, but there is nothing in writing about it. There is nothing been published about it. My sources aren't talking about it, but it obviously makes sense. But we'll see. It made sense to do what you call it. Uh, Multimodal lanes across at 470, but that didn't happen either. Of course, in hindsight, the whole thing with the exit lanes on the which side would that be? The west side of the turnpike, complicated things. All right. Park roaming with Robbie says, I recently saw that St. Vincent de Paul Church is doubling in size. Do you know if the church is still going to be built on Marshman Trail? As far as I know, the Catholic diocese is still looking to build there, but it is a slow process. Um, do you have any update on 470 bridge completion? No, nothing yet, but I will say that they are making good progress on 470 going up to it, basically from McNeil which is the McNeil and 470 is where Fire Station 49 is, and it's going to be 4 lanes all the way uh, down to Chandler in the village of Dabney. So, but haven't seen anything on the bridge. I haven't seen anything moving in for the truss placements. The main cross members. Last I had looked, they were still working on the center supports. So it's still a while, I think. Um, let's see. Glad you had a great birthday. Mine was awesome too. So much cake though. Victoria. Yeah, I had a good time. I was on Thursday, which was my birthday. I was actually working. They had the Learn and Grow Expo at Ezel, and I'm starting teaching my classes again. Been working on my lesson plans, getting them revised. I took a 6-month hiatus, but when I was there, I met a lot of folks that were fans, were followers. Thank you all for stopping by and saying hello. If you do have a drone, I teach 2 classes. The first one I call it Step One, Drone Basics, and I talk about the laws and the history of drones and where things are going, where you can fly, where you can't fly. I talk a little bit about photography with a drone, videography with a drone. I talk about the laws a lot because I want to help people make good, smart choices. Because the FAA is not messing around. They came out with a letter in January. It was called, I got it right here, in fact. Um, FAA Compliance and Enforcement Program, and it's change 13 to Order 2150.3C. Basically, they used to um, they had 2 ways that when you screwed up, there was a compliance issue and there was an enforcement issue. Compliance was slap your hand, get a little training, and educate you. And then an enforcement action was fines. And having been on the receiving end of a fine, fortunately I beat it. But that's not a fun time. They basically are saying we're done playing. You do something dangerous, you further the commitment of a crime. They're coming after you. The FAA is not playing games. But anyway, so I talk a lot about all kinds of different aspects in the Step One class, Step Two class. I talk about the software that is used to fly drones inside of our remotes or on the phone. If you don't have a display on your remote, there's a piece of software called DJI Fly, and it is well, the way I like to explain it is everybody knows how to use Word, right? You know all the features and functions of Microsoft Word. That's pretty slim pickings. Well, that software over the last 6 years has gained so many features and functions. Few people know all the features and functions. I do. I spend the time to study it and to learn all the different features and functions so that I can teach it and help people have a better experience. But those are the 2 classes I take. If you're interested, go to the Enrichment Academy. Enrollment starts tomorrow. All right. But yeah, it was a good birthday. Do you think Sam's will go where the greenhouses are? No, I don't think so. You got Walmart. I don't think you're gonna have Sam's right next to it. Rome, reach out to schedule now so you don't have to wait months to get it installed. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Talking about Sarah Sparkles was talking about your gutters. Um, you know, the with any of the things that you're going to have done afterwards, reach out to the vendors you're considering using and let them know your close date. Many of them can go in as they get closer to close and do the measurements. So, for example, the gutters, they can go in 2, 3 weeks ahead of time and be ready to mobilize the day after you close, so you can have the rain gutters in. And it's an expensive upgrade, but definitely worth it. Um, let's see. Hi, Dawn. Happy birthday. Thank you again. Uh, thank you, James. Oh, so that's that's Jim. He is the James Dennis. He is the owner of Gone But Guarded Home Watch. His phone number's there. His email address is on the screen. If you're gonna be away for a while and you need somebody to watch your home, give Jim a call. Um, let's see. Greg R says maybe Hank and I will run into you at Sophie Doodle's now under the contract for on a new courtyard villa in Edenfield. Well, congratulations, Greg. We had a courtyard villa for 10 and a half years. Absolutely loved it. You know, we bought the Moultrie Creek house again as a rental property, but you know, the best laid plans of mice and men didn't work out. Things changed in our lives rather quickly. Like 4 days after we bought the house, I lost my job because the governor's office called me and told me I needed to step down because I had to reinstate the former commissioner. But that's a different story. Anyway, um, slowed our things down. Debbie dropped the bomb that she didn't want to live in the old house anymore because our son had passed away in there and had too many memories. So that's why I have an apartment for just a little while longer because last Friday I found a house and I'm buying it. They did the inspections this week. It came out pretty good. But I will be moving from the apartment into the house, I don't know, sometime in April, maybe May, just depends. Um, but yeah, excited about that. And the great thing is, it's a wash financially between what I'm paying for rent and what it's going to cost me for mortgage. Psst, I come out ahead because I own the house. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Sophie Doodles is great. I try and get over there, Greg. First thing in the morning, you know, between 7 and 8 with Lily and Sully, just because I'm an early riser. What can I say? Uh, let's see. Where are we at? Okay. Okay. Sodfather says, I hope people know how helpful you are to people off camera. Thanks for taking time to help me with advice, especially as you asked nothing in return. Thanks for paying it forward. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that, Bob. So, all right. Where are we at on time? We're doing good on time. Holy mackerel, we got caught up. Thank you, Victoria. Appreciate it. Yeah. You know, it's a not a courtyard villa. It's a patio villa. Um, you know, I still wanted to have a rental property. Um, if all goes well, I'll be in that for 6.5 years. Um, you know, that's assuming I can get reelected in the next election. You never know because people get upset about many things, and the winds of politics change frequently. Best I can say. You know, I went by yesterday after golf, and there was a bunch of people out uh, with the whole no kings thing. You know what? And I get it. These liberal Democrats, they want no kings. You know, they want no workings, no thinking, um, uh, you know, no fact checking, no making any common sense. Different kinds of kings, and they want. But you know, if there really was a king, they wouldn't be out there protesting. Anyway, so much for that. Sorry, had to have a little fun with that one a little bit. Um, let's see. Do. All right, what else? So let's talk about another topic. So this week I was out taking pictures of houses. I have I think 5 houses over on Lagrange Loop, and lo and behold, I'm taking pictures, and here comes a bunch of bicyclists. You know the ones I'm talking about, the ones in their spandex. You know the Lance Armstrong wannabes, and these are the same folks that won't ride on the multimodal paths. They have to ride on the road, but they were riding on Nadine Trail, which is clearly posted no bicycles. Um, you know, but if you pass them, they get all upset because, oh, you're crowding me. I have a right to the road. Um, but then they don't seem to want to follow the rules of the road. Little things like stop signs. Very annoying though to see people on bicycles on Nadine Path. Nadine Path is the road, the path that goes all the way around Central Lake in Eastport. Let's see. Let's see. Sarah Sparkle says the large area that was one time going to be a hospital. Will they leave it that open or get a plan for something else prior to houses and golf courses in the area, in your opinion? So the area in Lake County that is to the north of 470, the four-lane construction that's going on, all the way over to, um, I'll get it out in a second, the Turnpike. You know what? Let's pull that up on the map. That's the easiest way to do it. The browser will go live. All right. We'll just go to Bill and Bob's map, or yeah. All right. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay. So see this white triangular section right here? Okay. My understanding is this is still where the hospital is going, and when they get a finalized deal, that is, and possibly some uh, commercial properties as well to accompany it. So let me see if I can blow that up to make it easier for people to see. Has he got a better one? Nope. We'll go back to that. Do, 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 do. So if you're looking for this map, it's Vaines, VAYENS.com. But you can see the new areas. So yeah, so this triangular area here is slated for, again, I believe it's commercial development as well as a hospital whenever they get things going. You can see down here is Long Prairie. They're showing some lots here. Well, that's where they have plotted them through the property appraiser. That tells me that's on the agenda very soon. And then, of course, they'll move their way north to Merrittfield, Farmstead, and eventually Sandy Hill, Green Grove Hill, Hopkins Pass, and Bradshaw Hill. Lots of area coming. This is all CDD 16. The one area that Bill and I can't figure out is this one right here. To the right of McNeil, this yellow line here is McNeil. So, yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Let's go back. All right. Let's see. Any negative? Okay, this is from BB Bombs. Any negative thoughts on growing vegetables on the lanai, like attracting critters or lack of pollination? I don't. I haven't grown too many things. I grew some tomatoes for a while at the Courtyard Villa in the village of Hillsborough, and they grew fine. Um, y- Understand that you're going to need, if you're going to plant around July and that, you're going to need to bring in some mulch, some topsoil, because there's not a lot of organic material in what they bring in. If you go over look near Sophie Doodles, there you see big mounds of dirt that came from those stockpile yards down by Long Prairie. They're leveling the lots, and so there's not a whole lot of organic matter in there. So you want to get some organic matter and mix it in. That will help tremendously with the growth of the vegetables. Um, but downsides, I don't know of any, other than you need to help the soil along. Um, let's see. Um, Congratulations on the patio villa. We bought one of Marvin's mom's, and they're great. Yep, I'm looking at it as an investment. Spandex, yeah. I've seen the bikes many times on Nadine Trail. Not sure if they're ignoring the no bikes or they don't see it. It's annoying. Um, yeah, they're annoying it. And um, is it really any different than the people up at the Black Lake walking path up by Lake Meona Recreation Center? This is the one that has the nice soft walking surface. When I was on PWAC, that was one of the last things that I voted on, and the walking surface is really nice. I've walked on it a couple of times, but people bring their dogs. One of the things it says specifically on the sign is no dogs. People, what can I tell you? People ignore things like that. I don't know why. Um, good question. What is that? John in Maine, or it's Join Maine. Anyway, I'm assuming it's John in Maine. Will it be golf cart accessible? Yes, yes, it will be. It's directly connected. So what hospital is going there? UF is out. UF, that deal fell apart. You know, it was, you remember, you had a very liberal college or excuse me, very liberal university, and a very conservative developer that were at odds. Um, and the business environment, shortly before they were getting ready to start, turned a little bit toxic for the area. Um, and that deal, that was one of several catalysts that helped make that deal fall apart, sadly, because it was supposed to be it was supposed to be a teaching and research hospital. We'll see what we get this time. Anyway, um, let's see. All right, what else do we have? You know what? It is 36 after. I think it's time for a quick break. I'm going to go get a fresh cup of coffee, a warm up, and I will be right back. Thanks for sticking with today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. Pardon me for just a minute while I go grab a fresh cup of coffee and stretch my legs and back. While you're waiting, let me ask you a quick question. Are you building a new home in the Villages and need someone with a trained eye to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates? Then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years experience as a construction project manager, and I've been offering this valuable service to residents for over 6 years. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. Fortunately, serious issues are rare, but even the most minor issues are better caught during construction than during closing. I'm not just taking pictures of your home like others do. I'm watching your home being built with a trained eye to ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today. Now let's get back to the broadcast.
You ever wonder why dogs pick one person as their favorite?
You mean like how you follow your mom everywhere?
Even to the bathroom?
Exactly.
No.
And everyone thinks it's because she feeds me, but it's way deeper than that.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Goldie, explain the science.
Yeah. Okay, so when we meet people, our brain scans everything.
Yeah.
Their voice, their scent, their energy.
Yeah.
Not for excitement, but for safety.
Mm-hmm.
Like, will you steal my treats safety?
Nah, bro. More like, can I exhale around you safety?
And when someone makes us feel calm, our amygdala, the trust part of our brains, literally lights up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I mean?
So that's why we pick one person?
Yeah. Over time, our heartbeat syncs with theirs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we follow them from room to room.
We're not being clingy. We're regulating our nervous system.
Damn, that's kind of beautiful.
When my mom walks into a room, I breathe different, bro. She doesn't even have to touch me. I just feel safe. focus.
So it's not the treats, it's soul chemistry?
Exactly. We can smell emotions, feel stress, match breathing, and when someone brings us peace, we choose them for life.
So when a dog picks you, it's not luck, it's biology saying you're home.
Yeah. We don't love the person who feeds us the most. We love the person who feels safe to our soul.
Stop pitying the dog owner who is grieving. You think they are trapped in a cycle of madness, choosing to build a life out of 12-year blocks of guaranteed heartbreak. You are mistaken. In the wisdom of the Tao, these are not unfortunate people. They are the most courageous among us. They are collectors of warm shadows. They know the day will come when the silver cord breaks and a hole is torn into their chest. And yet they go right back into the world to find a new soul to break their heart all over again. Why ask for such pain? Because in the spirit world, the sacrifice is the medicine. They gladly hand over a piece of their own soul every decade because they know the safe, lonely zone is a desert compared to the messy, warm fire of devotion. They allow their hearts to be shattered a dozen times just to ensure a dozen good dogs get to taste heaven before they have to leave. It is a sacred trade. The grief at the end is simply the tax we pay for a decade of receiving the purest frequency of love in the universe. Do not fear the shattered heart. It is the only way the light gets in. Tell me, how many warm shadows have you loved in your lifetime?
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
All right, we are back. Sorry about the unusually long pauses in there. My macros that run those breaks so I don't have to sit here and punch the buttons for some reason get stuck. I'll have to figure it out. Let's see. Elvis Fan Forever says we have problems with dogs at Winch's Preserves on Moyer Loop too, despite all the signs of no dogs. Yeah, that one's especially annoying because the Atlas Dog Park is right there. They share the same parking lot. Why can't you take your dog to the dog park? You know, I love my dogs, but I respect other people. You know, uh, they my dogs don't belong everywhere I go, and I don't take them everywhere I go, much as I'd like to. Um, you know, and when I do take them, I have my little bags for those expected events. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. So yeah, the videos from with the dogs, the golden and the Frenchie, or some of the other breeds, they're funny as heck, and they really are quite touching. Um, so we'll continue on with some of the stuff I had on my list for today. Um, so we talked about Nadine Path. Um, the other day, I was at the dog park, and there was a lot of folks over at the ball fields at what's it called, Farragut ball fields, and I noticed that some of them were parking over by the dog park, and that the parking along the outfield was empty, and it's like, and these people had to walk farther. So I went by and I said, "Hey, why are you parking over here? Why don't you park closer to the field?" You know what it was? They didn't want their car to be hit by a ball hit over the fence. hello? You're the guys who are the ones hitting them over the fence, and you don't want your cars to get hit, but you'll leave the space empty for somebody else. Thanks, guys. Anyway, do. Yeah, call Community Watch about the dogs over at the Shine Rose Winches Preserve. They'll come pretty quickly. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Um, so I had some feedback last week after the show from somebody who I know about the census email that I said throw it in the garbage. Okay. Not seeing the piece of email, you know, uh, I'm sorry. I'm going to stick with what I said, and it's based on just like when you get emails and you don't know exactly who they're from. They look official, but man, somebody starts asking me for information. That goes right in the recycling bin. And I don't recycle, I just empty the trash at the end of the day. Um, if there is a website given, personally, I ain't touching it. I ain't touching it. Okay. Uh, Now, I may go to whatever the Census Bureau's website is for the federal government and check. And if it matches up with what I'm seeing on the email or on the piece of mail, yeah. But otherwise, I'm sorry, folks. There is just too many crooked people out here looking to you know separate you from your money and your identity. Don't put yourself in an uncompromised in a compromised position. Um, the census is important. I don't want to take away from that. It is very important, that we have an accurate count. It would be good if it was accurate and we didn't have um, illegals counted, but hopefully that'll get straightened out by the next census. But um, again, honestly, protect yourself. Don't give up your personal information. Somebody calls you on the phone? No, sorry. The Social Security Department doesn't call you. If you'll get a letter from the Social Security Department, and it's very obvious that it's official. Um, but they're not going to call you. They're not going to ask you for your password or anything like that. Don't fall prey. Too many people, especially older Americans, fall prey to these identity theft scams. Um, if you're not sure, reach out. If you get something you think it's from Social Security, but you're not sure, don't call the number on that. Go to Social Security's website, get their contact information, and call them. I've called them asking many things about Medicare lately. Um, same thing with the census or your bank or whatever. I mean, if you get something from your bank, nah, I'm sorry. One of the first things I do when I get a piece of email that I'm not 100% sure about is I will look at the email address from the sender. Okay. Now, if you see under the to and from blocks, undisclosed recipients, and it's sent to you, no, sorry, punch it out, delete it. Uh, be safe. If you're still not sure, there's what is it? Somebody help me out here with the Citizens uh, Against Crime for Seniors or something like that. There's a group here in the villages. I don't remember um, what it's called off the top of my head, but they'll help out. Call Sumter County Sheriff if you're not sure. Uh, there you go. Um, let's see. What else? What else? Um, but again, my uh, advice was not directed against the Census Department. I have no issue with them. Oh, all right. Looks like we got a caller. Hang on a second, folks. Hi, this is Don. Can I help you? All right. Hang on. I think I got to get my headphones on. Hello, this is Don. Can I help you? we'll get this. Hello? Yes.
Okay. My name's Jason. I'm going to be signing up maybe for one of your classes tomorrow. And I have a DJI Mini 4K, and I didn't see that listed on what you for your second level.
Oh, okay. Well, great question. There are currently 22, soon to be 23 aircraft covered by that software. The Mini 4K is one of them.
Okay.
So, yes, please, yeah, it's definitely on the list. In fact, I've got one sitting out in my garage. I'm getting ready to take a bunch of screenshots of so to make sure we have all the features and functions covered.
Okay, good. So I'll go ahead and sign up for it then.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I don't need the basic class, do I?
Have you flown a drone before?
Yes, yes.
Do you have your 107?
No, I don't have a 107, but I had that, what is it, the trusted?
Okay, well, that's very rudimentary. I still, if you're not 100% comfortable with all the laws and regulations, I would definitely take it, but it's entirely up to you.
Okay. Yeah, it was, I could take both, I guess.
Yep. All right. Outstanding. Well, thank you for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry about that, folks. I did not. I didn't have everything all set up properly. Um, uh, let's see. Seniors. Seniors Against Crime. Thank you, Elvis Fan. I appreciate that. That's who I was talking about earlier. Steve Mintz does an excellent job on cybersecurity. Okay, good. That's good, Steve Mintz. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on in the Enrichment Academy. All right. Yeah. I apologize again on the call, Greg. It caught me off guard. I rarely get calls, but anyway. I want to talk about something that popped up on Villages News. There was an individual talking about raw sewage, and apparently there was an incident, raw sewage going into our storm drains. And if you read the full context of it, he was talking about inadequate infrastructure and things like that. That was very annoying. I know who this individual is who wrote this. So let's talk about what happened. Raw sewage. Yes, occasionally, uh, especially in the newer areas, a septic drain can get clogged. Something gets dislodged or whatever. There's some blockage. It'll back up. Sometimes a lift station fails. Okay. They're pretty good about getting on it. As soon as you call Community Watch or District Property Management or the district office and tell them, hey, I've got raw sewage, they're out there. How do I know that? Because it happened on Laura Loop, where my house is at. We had some raw sewage coming up. Boom, they were out there within hours getting the problem fixed. It happens on a rare occasion. It's not a tremendous amount of sewage going into the storm drains. So let's talk about the infrastructure. Um, if you are living in the new areas, there is no shortage of infrastructure as far as sewage treatment and things like that. Behind Fire Station 48 is the Gibson Wastewater Treatment Facility. It's only about 2/3 built, okay? Because they don't need the additional capacity at this point. It is nowhere near capacity. You have to understand how big of an area this thing is looking to cover. You're talking, all of Middleton, all of CDD 15, all of CDD 16, 17, 18. It's a tremendously large area. There is no shortage of infrastructure. This individual is running for county commissioner. And he thinks that the there's there's infrastructure issues. I'm not going to deny that there's not problems with the roads. Okay, we only have so much money to maintain our roads, uh, and we do as best we can, looking for grants and other sources of revenue. Um, but uh, here in the villages, all the roads are built by the developer. Your bond covers the road construction, um, but the sewage and wastewater treatment is not an issue. Okay, you are going to have occasional hiccups on new areas. Yes, there was a problem over in Hawkins a couple of weeks ago. They had a failure of it was an electrical failure that caused the backup, but as soon as they figured it out, it was fixed. It was unfortunate because there was sewage backing up into people's homes. That's pretty nasty, no doubt. But it was taken care of. Let's see. I talked about that. I saw that. I was the spin that was put on it was really a false narrative, in my opinion. Um, All right. So, by the way, if you guys see up in the upper right-hand corner, you see the icon that's changing. These are the charities that I am supporting through my channel. Um, I send each of these a donation either annually or every month. So we got Wounded Warriors, we got Tunnel to Towers, we've got Joshua's House, uh, Mid Florida Golden Retriever Rescue. I believe in giving back, and my advertisers are helping with this. Your contributions help with this. Uh, uh, it's it's the right thing to do, in my opinion. Um, let's see. Jim wants to know, how did you enjoy your Medicare research and sign up? uh, well, it was better than sticking a needle in my eye. No, fortunately I have a good friend from my old neighborhood. I play golf with him every Saturday morning. And Dave used to work for Social Security. He gave me some great help and insights on what to do and what I needed, what I didn't needed, uh, what I didn't needed. Well, what I didn't need. Okay, so I'm mumbling. Sorry. So that helped tremendously. Um, little shocked at the rate, but hopefully it will go down next year. I had a big spike because I took a bunch of money out of my retirement savings to buy the Moultrie Creek house, uh, and I screwed up. I didn't get the money back in to my retirement account in time, and I got to pay a big tax bill on it, and it sucks. And it hurt me also with Medicare because it made my income bracket for the year that they looked at really high. Um, Shame on me, I was stupid. Uh, Such is life. Moves on. Let's see. Um, uh, let's see. So Muskie says, I belong to the birding group, and the president went to the developer to discuss the dog issue, and Community Watch was tasked with making the preserve high priority. Okay, that's cool. All right. Let's see. So this is from Victoria. Thank you for the donation, Victoria. I appreciate that. That helps with the cover the cost. Do you know about how long the closing process takes on a new build spec home, such as veranda, courtyard villa, patio villa? Also, do all the new build spec builds on uh, new build spec homes on the lottery system? Thanks for everything. So, um, they are announced, and you sign up for them. And yes, they're basically on the lottery system, if you want to call it a lottery system. Um, it's unless it's a high demand lot, You know, for example, we wanted a waterfront lot, so there was, competition. We did not get our first choice. We got our third choice. We got very fortunate. Uh, we got we got in the first time around. Generally, closing is 30 days. I know that Dave and Melanie, our next door neighbors, they requested a quick close. They closed in 2 weeks. Once the spec homes are built, it's a pretty easy process. Um, I've said it before. Buying a home, if you're going through Citizens, Citizens First Bank, it's as easy as buying a car. They have the process down. Obviously, it's Seacoast has uh, merged with Citizens First, and we'll be seeing the transition of the branding coming up very soon. But no, the closing process, only takes maybe 2 hours at most. And if you need a quick close, they can normally accommodate that. All right. Let's see. Oh, where was it bubbling up? Muskie wants to know. That was over on Craig Court. Um, yeah. Uh, Again, that was a couple of weeks ago. As far as I know, it's been corrected. Medicare checks back 2 years. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. The whole Medicare stuff. Yeah. I have TRICARE as well, so that just complicates things a little bit. Let's see. Uh, This is from Elvis fan to Muskie. Thanks. But I have been working with the head of Community Watch, Nehemiah Wolf, and Mr. Rohan, who heads up rec, and the sheriff office for those that fish. Okay. Um, so Kyle Reed says, we love you. Okay. Oh, thanks. Anyway, um, we love you. Anyhow, Don, the villages has been a long journey. Thanks, Don. Okay. That's cool, Kyle. Uh, so, you know what? I have something to show you. Let me see. Let me see if I can bring up the PowerPoint. Oh, look at here. We're gonna go to the last slide. So one of the frequent viewers. There we go. Is Mark Edwards. Mark and Lori this week. Um, they got their house. They closed. And this is a picture of them. Congratulations, Mark. He and I have conversed many times. His real last name isn't Edwards, but that's what he goes by. But yeah, so this is the typical closing picture. You put your name up on the board and get your picture taken and all that. And yeah, I don't know if I'll do that again when I close next month. All right, let's go back. Let's see. What else? Yeah, Gene Simmons. Um, wow, I think we just about covered everything. Yeah, I'm gonna go back. So there were some, uh, I had some stuff that I was gonna go on. There's been some stupid comments. People complaining about the gates and all this and how much money we spend on amenities, and of course, they had to throw in the greed thing. This is a lady that lives over here in Moultrie Creek, who's been here since August, and or uh, August will be 2 years for this individual. If you're going to write into the village's news, uh, get your facts straight, okay? Um, I know that outlet likes anything that they can say negative about the villages. They obviously have a grudge. But get your facts straight before you start hammering on the way things are done. Because you know what? Let let's go look at that real quick. Whoops. Let me fix the screen a little bit. Oh, all right. That's interesting. Why? Yeah. It doesn't happen. Oh, okay. This is from Lavinia Allen. Um, Hi, Don. This is Matt and Lavinia in SWVA. So it's either Southwest Virginia or Southern West Virginia. I'm not sure. We currently own our farm for sale in Floyd. As soon as we get a good contract, we'll be heading that way. We have 2 dogs, so of course we are looking for homes with large yards. There are currently some in Moultrie Creek. How do you like it in that area? Do you hear noise from the high school or traffic from Bar Boulevard? My Aussie is sensitive to noise, so I need to find something as quiet as I can. How far is Sophie Doodles from there? On a golf cart? Thanks for all you do. We'll be watching today as usual. So Matt and Lavinia, uh, hopefully you get your house sold. I apologize for why this thing is not showing up properly on the screen, because it should. Eh, I have to go back into the editing process. But anyway, um, so let's handle your questions real quick. Uh, do I like the area? Yeah, my dogs like the area. I, I haven't heard any noise from Bar Boulevard. Bar Boulevard, it's 2 lanes, so it's not. It has traffic on it, okay, but it's not a tremendous amount of traffic, in my opinion. If you buy a house that that fronts up to it, yes, you're going to hear the traffic, okay. But if you buy a house that doesn't, well, you're probably not going to hear it as much. Um, uh, let's see. Yes, you probably will hear the evening games from the high school at the football stadium and the baseball and softball stadium because they have a PA system um, that is allowed. It may go into the evening hours after 10 o'clock, depending on what's going on. They are exempt from the sound, uh, the noise ordinances uh, because of the nature they are. That's enshrined in the county code. Um, and it's not just this facility, but any other public school and a similar facility. Um, but it's generally not that loud. If you're worried about it, once you get inside the house, you're not going to hear it. Um, the houses are very well built, very well insulated, and you don't hear much traffic. Let's see. Obviously, homes with large yards are, I'm not going to say they're rare, but they're not common. Um, if you're with an Aussie, it's a high energy dog. I would highly recommend either a veranda or a courtyard villa. Verandas, uh, y- again, they have fenced in yards. They may not necessarily be large fenced in yards. If you want a large fenced in yard, you're generally looking at one on the periphery, maybe one with a view. Um, so you're going to pay a little bit more, but worth it, in my opinion, absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. Sophie Doodles is, I don't know the exact distance, it's about 6 or 7 minutes by golf cart going down Bar Boulevard. And it's, yeah, it's not that far. It's an easy trip. Um, let's see, did we cover all of them? Yeah, I think so. All right. That was the nice one. That was an email I got, and I always appreciate those. All right, this is the one. I apologize. Hang on. Let me go back to this because then I can go here, do this, and just do that, There, that fixes it. There we go. This is from the Villages News. This is a letter to them. They make enough money here in the villages with what we pay for amenities. Pay in amenities. Excuse me. Sorry. Uh, I guess Debbie's doing dishes. Anyway, let's start again. They make enough money here in the villages with what we pay here in amenities that every person that lives here should have a sticker on their car to get through the gates instead of the cards that we have to wave in front of the eye to get through because when it rains or the weather is nasty, you get soaking wet. We're going to pick that one apart here in just a minute. I don't think we need to get rid of the people at the entrances. They open up the gates for people coming to visit and it provides jobs. I don't feel that it's right that anyone can drive through the villages without showing a driver's license, saying who they are, and that and and that's what we need the people at the gates to do. The people living in the villages should have a sticker on their car that the gate reads and they get straight through. Things aren't good here in the world today. You have a lot of people living here in the villages, and we need to know that we have some security. I don't think the cameras are good enough and that they catch everything. Well, again, pay attention. You want to know about the amenities budget? We are in budget season. Go to the project-wide advisory committee meetings. They have their budget workshops coming up. They will go over that budget. The amenities budget is very tight. We used to have what was called a deferral, or excuse me, what was it called? It wasn't a cap. Yeah, a deferral rate. Sorry, I had to think about it. And that was removed back in, I want to say 18, I think is when we removed it. That capped it. The reason that that it was removed was because we were within 3 years of having to dip into capital reserves to fund day-to-day operations. Okay. Um, Now, let's go on to the whole thing about the card readers and all that. My background, I was in construction. One of the things I specialized in was high-end security. I used to work for Johnson Controls. They owned a company called Card Key. That is a brand. Card Key is a brand, just like Kleenex is a brand. Um, and I was involved with this stuff on some very, very large scale projects. So it's not just putting a sticker on the window, my dear. There is readers that have to be integrated. It is a very detailed process. They actually looked at this last year, and it was going to be a couple of $1 million to implement. It just was not worth it. Sorry you get wet. By the way, you're not waving it in front of an eye. You were waving it in front of the entire MaxiProx reader. That's the big gray thing on the pedestal. It is considered a long-range reader. Um, we are talking literally thousands of dollars for something like this. Um, I can't help but wonder how you feel about voter ID looking at this, because you want people to show their driver's license to get onto a public street. These are not private streets. The gate guards are the people at the gatehouses are there to help you, but they cannot block you from coming in. Um, yeah, enough on that. You know, again, this particular lady has written in many times to Villages News and complained about things that there's an obvious lack of understanding. All right. Uh, uh, oh. Okay. Muskie wants to know, what do you mean it was bubbling up? The storm drain or because the storm drains were, okay. So, what was happening, this is going back to the sewage that was bubbling up. Uh, if you look in the streets, there are really two sets of drains. There is storm drains, which is the water that's going to the retention ponds, and then there is sewage lines. Okay. Those sewage lines are all gravity fed. They go to a pumping station through what's called a grinding pump to grind things up. Um, and then that's pumped to the forced mains. Um, when you have a pump go down or some blockage, those underground lines can back up, and they will literally start seeping out around the edge of the manhole covers. Uh, you'll know quickly that it's happening there. Um, yeah. Um, so it was literally the sewage was backing up into the street, and it was draining into the rest of the storm drains. Uh, you know, the storm drains receive all kinds of organic matter. We'll leave it at that. Don't forget, you've got alligators swimming in there. Guess what they do in the water? Birds in there. They lighten the load before they take off. Um, yeah, if an animal urinates or defecates on the grass and it rains, that gets washed out and into the storm drains as well. So the system is those those storm drains, those retention ponds, they can handle some of this. And fortunately, when you have something like this, a backup, it's it's fortunately it's caught normally pretty quickly. Uh, there you go. Let's see. Wow. What else? What else is going on? Nobody else has any questions. Let's see. Well, oh yeah. Yeah, Lavinia and Matt, I hope your farm does sell quickly. Small town, Floyd, Virginia. Oh, okay. Southwest Virginia. Well, that's cool. Um, Lavinia, my wife's family is from Wytheville, Virginia. So I know that area. I just don't happen to know all the little towns in that area. Been riding a motorcycle out in the mountains up there. What's that name of that place? There's a road, they call it the Claw of the Dragon. It's a series of roads in Southwest Virginia. Beautiful area. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. I'm heading up that way probably mid-June. I have to take my mom's remains up to Pennsylvania um, to be buried. She passed away a few years ago. We've been holding on to the remains, and I need to let go. I'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to take him up there, and I'm debating on, am I taking the truck, taking the motorcycle, or maybe I'll put the motorcycle on a trailer and take it with me and do some riding while I'm out there. So we may miss a show or two in June. Anyway, anybody else having connection issues? No, fortunately, I'm not. I just replaced my router a week or so ago because we were having some connection issues, um, and everything seems to be working well. Let's see, what else? We're already at 20 minutes after. I appreciate everybody sticking around. I try to cover the topics you want to talk about. Um, you know, one of the things that obviously you see my ads at the breaks and at the beginning and the end of the show. I'm running a special. I've been saying Long Prairie till the end of the month. If you're buying a house in Long Prairie and you want to take one of my packages. The basic package is $50 off through the end of the month. The deluxe package with the YouTube videos, which is you can see those videos on my other channel. Those are $100 off, and there's an additional cost if you do a pool because it's extra work to take pictures and that. we're taking 50% off that on either package. And I'm going to extend that through the end of the month to not only Long Prairie, but Lakeview, because those are the two areas that are hot right now. They're going through their design or getting ready to come up through their design. Uh, it's if you can get on my schedule sooner, it helps with routing and planning for Adam and I. But again, I'll extend those packages through the end of the month. Again, $50 off the basic, $100 off the deluxe package, and of course 50% off of any pool edition. With that, I think it's time to call it a day. As always, I remind you, life is short, power is fleeting. Physical beauty lasts but a very short while. All of us who live long enough will at some point also become weak and vulnerable. So let's be humble. Help the sick, help the weak, help the vulnerable. For one day, we too will be exiting. So let us do it with humility, dignity, honor, and the knowledge that through our actions, we leave this world a much better place. I'm Don Wiley. Have a great day. We'll see you all next week.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Thanks for watching today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happening here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo-video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo-video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some do. I'm watching your new home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today, and I'll see you next week right here at Gold Wingnut Live.
So what did he say back to you?
He said, not only is this not my car, I didn't even park in this lot.
Where was he from?
Who?
The guy in your story that you were just talking about now?
Oh, he had California plates, so somewhere around here, I guess.
But he had a southern accent?
Not that I can remember.
So why did you just give him one?
Because it's hilarious. I reckon that ain't my car. Yuck.
Yuck?
God, that was even worse. Did you just yuck like Goofy?
Oh, come on, it's funny.
Is it?
I think it's hilarious.
You used to laugh when people make the Geico hump day joke.
Hump day!
Every Wednesday for 7 years. It never gets old.
So why does the accent bother you so much?
Oh, it's not the bad accent. I've seen Con Air. I can handle it. It's the thinking that we just...
We?
Yeah, we. I'm from the South. I was born and raised in Alabama.
I am so sorry. I had no idea.
Why are you apologizing to me like someone just died?
Well, that had to be really tough, you know? Growing up in the South?
Nope, it was just fine, thanks.
Did you have shoes when you were little?
Is that a joke?
Did you eat bologna cakes all the time?
That sounds disgusting.
Can you marry your cousin?
Is that a serious question?
Do we talk too fast for you?
That's offensive.
Why don't you have an accent?
Oh, I do. It just only comes out when I'm angry, and I'm getting pretty close right now.
Oh, can you actually bring babies into a bar?
Okay. You know what? This is ridiculous. These questions are either based on the worst of Southern stereotypes, or they all came straight from the movie Sweet Home Alabama. Have either one of y'all ever been to the South?
I had a layover in Atlanta once.
Everyone has.
Sorry, I just thought people from the South were, you know.
Dumb.
They don't have a reputation for being the brightest.
We don't. Well, then I guess it was just dumb luck that we put man on the moon and invented handheld calculators and created anesthesia. Are you looking that up on Wikipedia? Because we invented that too.
Okay, look, I think what he's trying to say is that the South is just different.
Different? In what way? You know, we're not an episode of the Beverly Hillbillies. We don't all talk like Foghorn Leghorn and Paula Deen had a baby in a trailer park on Talladega weekend. We are the most diverse region in the country. We are not just a salad bowl. We are a high-powered, industrial-sized crock pot that has been cooking up the best music, art, and literature this country has ever seen. Do we have problems? Sure, but so does the rest of America. So if y'all want to focus on our differences, that's fine. Y'all go right on ahead. But you better find something other than those tired old stereotypes and focus on something real, like how we don't judge people based on where they come from.
I'm sorry, I had no idea.
Well, bless your heart.
No, I don't think that's a good thing.
Oh, it is.
Stop pitying the dog owner who is grieving. You think they are trapped in a cycle of madness, choosing to build a life out of 12-year blocks of guaranteed heartbreak. You are mistaken. In the wisdom of the Tao, these are not unfortunate people. They are the most courageous among us. They are collectors of warm shadows. They know the day will come when the silver cord breaks and a hole is torn into their chest. And yet they go right back into the world to find a new soul to break their heart all over again. Why ask for such pain? Because in the spirit world, the sacrifice is the medicine. They gladly hand over a piece of their own soul every decade because they know the safe, lonely zone is a desert compared to the messy, warm fire of devotion. They allow their hearts to be shattered a dozen times just to ensure a dozen good dogs get to taste heaven before they have to leave. It is a sacred trade. The grief at the end is simply the tax we pay for a decade of receiving the purest frequency of love in the universe. Do not fear the shattered heart. It is the only way the light gets in. Tell me, how many warm shadows have you loved in your lifetime?